You got the wrong name, bro. I don't know. You in the wrong live, broski. What up, y'all? We're finna interview Danny TV. If you guys didn't know, that is my wife. You can go subscribe to her channel. It's Danny TV.
Yes, sir. Let's get it.
And we're gonna do an interview today, guys. Get to know Danny TV a little bit more, and let's get it going. So let's start with your name, age, and what you do for a living.
Well, first, I just want to say, thank you for allowing me here on your show. What's up, Jake from State Farm? Gotta give a shout out. Jake from State Farm. Actually, I'm being interviewed right now, and I have to open up my stream. King Blue TV is actually interviewing me right now, and he's live as well. So yeah, just wanted to let you guys know that. Go ahead.
Oh yeah, name, age, and what you do for a living.
Danny is my name. That's what I'm gonna go by.
Danny.
And I am 31.
Okay.
And you said, what do I do for a living? Well, what more can I say? I live for a living. I live to tell the truth, and I know that I have First Amendment rights. So.
Okay. What's up, error? I guess that was an error, huh? Okay, so Danny's 31. Okay, 31. See you just like a normal person, even though normal isn't normal,
right?
In today's society. We're gonna carry on to the next question. It's not normal.
That is
okay.
Correct.
So we can go to the next question, and it's kind of just a little bit more in depth about who is Danny TV. So the question is, are you a good person?
Am I a good person?
As in, like, are you violent? Do you just?
Am I violent? Am I a violent person, guys?
Well, I wouldn't say violent. I would say, like, are you a good person?
Am I wow. What type of, you know what?
Chicken butt.
So you said, am I a good person?
Are you a good person? Yes. Like, what type of person are you?
Yes, I am.
You're a good person?
I'm a great person.
Okay, great. Person. She's a great person.
Yeah, I don't think violent with anyone.
Okay.
I don't just walk up to people and punch them in the face. That's just not how I do.
Okay. Have you ever sent any threats to anyone, or like
have I ever sent any threats to anyone? No, but I sent promises.
Okay. Yeah. Promises. Okay.
No and to Sabrina, no, actually I'm not pregnant. This is a photo of me from 2017. So you do the math. 2017, and it is 2025. So yeah, I was pregnant with my child. It was a girl, and yeah, she's gorgeous. She's definitely gorgeous, and it'll be definitely 7 years today. Anyway, go ahead with your question.
Next question is, so where are you from?
I am from Chirac.
Okay. Chicago?
Chicago.
Okay. That's cool. Chicago. I heard they got good food out there. Well, out here, I mean,
Mhm.
yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
So Danny,
Chicago, Illinois, South Side. I'm sorry. I was actually born and raised on the west side of Chicago. And when I turned, I'm going to say like 3, I moved to the south side of Chicago. And I've been here ever since. Next.
okay. All right. So our next question is,
Mm-hmm.
this is kind of like few public topics that I wanted to ask you about and just get your take on things, see how you feel about some public records in regards to like corrupt judges. Okay, so how do you feel about like corrupt judges?
How do I feel about corrupt judges?
Yeah.
I feel like it is a special place for them, a special seat for them. You know, um, because you don't live forever. You don't live forever. When you die, you gotta go somewhere. So, yeah, it's definitely a special place for them.
Okay. How do you feel in relation as well to like corrupt caseworkers as well?
I'm
Corrupt.
sorry, I'm getting a little lost here. Corrupt caseworkers. There's a lot of different type of caseworkers that we have out here in this world. So I need you to be a little specific.
Okay, so it's several cases out here with that I mean, we can just really just go over, alarming, statistics, that just can't be ignored.
Right, but the question that I'm asking is like, which kind of caseworkers? There's different types of caseworkers.
Okay, case workers, as in, the system that holds children. I think it's about what 20,000 children in this state alone. In is it CPS or
Are you
DCFS?
So you talking about caseworkers from DCFS?
Yeah, from like agencies and
Okay.
yeah.
You talking about like the caseworkers that come in and take the kids away, or are you talking about the caseworkers in the foster care agency that are supposed to help the families stay together?
The ones that are supposed to help the family stay together. Those type of
So you asking
caseworkers.
me what do I?
How do you feel about corrupt caseworkers? Yeah.
Well, I would say the same exact thing for them. The same thing should apply in regards to it's a special place for them.
Right.
Yeah, that's how I feel. And I just feel like, if you went to school and you got your degree and you did all the extra stuff and you portrayed an image to reunite families, but behind the scenes you're not.
Right.
I just feel like it's a special place for them.
Special places.
It's an amazing place
for different faces.
Yeah, because like I said, you don't live forever.
You don't. It's always that time when it's time. Especially when you're doing wrong to someone. Okay, so I'll just pull up a few stats here. I wanted to go over a few of them with you and just get your feedback on it. So as to today's date, According to Kids Count data center, it's over 600 children in the welfare system. Um, 41% are 0 to 4 years old. 31% five to 10 years old. 14% is 11 to 13 years old. 15% 14 to 17. 52% of them are female, and 48% are male. So,
Wow.
how do you feel about those statistics? Being that this is it's another one. It's a few more. I'm sorry. Neglect is the most common reason. 76% of cases. Followed by physical abuse, of course, and sexual abuse. Now, this is what they're going through statistically, being placed in the place where they're supposed to be treated better, I would say. Unfortunately, it's a statistic here that may be alarming. African American youth represent 14% of the total child population, yet account for 23% of the foster care system. Children of Black families are overrepresented in cases of suspected maltreatment, I would say, and
Right.
child protective services investigations. Investigations spend more time in foster care and less likely to reunite with their families. How do you feel about those statistics?
So you saying that African American children that is in CPS is more likely to not return home to their families?
Children of Black families,
Wow.
they're overrepresented, right? And they're suspected of, So how do you feel about basically just
Right.
in so many words?
I feel like, it is a such thing as systemic racism.
Mm-hmm.
And a lot of people, they don't want to talk about it. They feel like it doesn't exist, but it does. And the system is designed to go against Black families and Black people as a whole. You got all different types of angles of the system. You got the criminal justice system, you got CPS, you got child support, you got food stamps and cash assistance. You even got child care. Um, it's a whole lot of, and then you got low income, Section 8. All of this was designed to, go against Black families. And if you think about it, all of the systems is connected, right?
Mm-hmm.
So all of those systems are already connected to take the child out of the home if you really think about it, right? Because any little report against you could result in your child being, taken away from you. Like, let's really talk about this. Let's really think about it. People don't think of it this way. A lot of people, and I talked about this in one of my other live streams, a lot of people don't even know that these systems are all linked together.
Mm-hmm.
And it's designed to either lock the Black man up and keep him in prison, take the child away from the mother, or make sure the man ain't in the damn household. The systems is designed to take our children from us in the first place. And I feel like, we are statistics. We just walk in statistics. And they just want to make an example out of us every chance that they get. They need the numbers to go up. They looking at it from their view that they looking at it is like to keep Black families down, to keep Black people down, and to increase their income and live off of us and our children. And, we look at it in a way like, man, how the hell can we make it out of this shit without them trying to create more problems for us as Black people? But the sad thing about it is, us as Black people, we create problems amongst one another too. You know, we actually are our own oppressors. I keep saying that too. So even though the system is designed to take our children away from us, we are our own oppressors. You got Black people that work within the system that's keeping kids away from their mamas and daddies. You got Black people that works in the system when it come down to you getting an EBT card and getting your taxes done, all of that stuff. Like, we literally go against each other. It's sad. I feel like it's like the system is more so like like far as like kids being taken away from their parents and stuff. I really feel like it's just sometimes a lose-lose situation, because every which way that you look at it, the system was designed to take our children. You know what I'm saying? You trying to take your damn child for a checkup at a doctor's office, and they send up you telling the motherfucking doctor, hey man, my motherfucking son that fell and he got a bruise on his leg, and I need to know how this can be treated, because for instance, it's becoming infected. They will literally make up their own reasoning and try to lie and say that you harmed your child and call it in, and next thing you know, your child is taken away from you, and all you was trying to do was make sure your child was good. And they're not gonna mark it as medical neglect because you took your child to the doctors or the hospital, but they will, mark it as child abuse and neglect. They just gotta add on the fucking neglect, you know. It's like it's so many freaking angles of how children are. Like, come on, man. They created this system. They created different angles and avenues to be able to steal our children from us. Our little children, they've created every angle there is to get our kids. But what's the next question?
My next question is just kind of overseeing a public record showing a parent going through dealing with the child protective services, and just unfortunate. It looks like the father he's into adult entertainment, but the children were returned to him immediately.
Wow.
If you don't mind, I could just read. I could just read a little bit for you, and if you guys,
it all sums up. Basically what you saying is, they basically gave the children to the perpetrator.
yeah,
To the real defendant.
yeah. Well, if you don't mind me, I'll just read the sentence real quick. After being with their grandmother 2 or 3 days, the judge quit. Well, I'm sorry if I'm pronouncing. Out of the blue, wrote up a new order to send the girls to their father, who previously had no interest in the case. Wow. And who lived on the West Coast. The father was in adult entertainment. His girlfriend worked as an escort, and his brother, who also worked in the business, had a sexual charge brought against him. So basically, the kids were living with their father.
Why are they like?
Yeah.
My little question, real quick, is like, why do they do this? Why? Instead of giving the child back to the parent that has worked their ass off to get all the way to the return home goal, instead of giving the child back, you give the child to the perpetrators, the real perpetrators. I don't know. Why do they do this? You see how they mess these kids' heads? It's bad enough that the kids' heads are already messed up because they in the system. But to give them to the real perpetrators, you know, the people that already never had any interest in the case in the first place, and originally the mother, what her kids was removed from her care, and she fought extremely hard to get them back. Instead of giving her what she deserves, you decide, I'm gonna just get the kids to, the real motherfucking defendants. Why do they do that? But
Could I just share this last part of this article with you? I'm gonna read this for you. It's pretty shocking. Throughout this case and through the process of dealing with multiple other mismanaged cases of the Department of Family and Children's Services, I have worked with other desperate parents across the state of Georgia. This is the person's whose page is on, which is parentalrights.org. This is them speaking across the state of Georgia. This is in Georgia, of course, and in many other states because their children were taken for no cause and they have no one with whom to turn. I have witnessed ruthless behavior from many caseworkers, social workers, investigators, lawyers, judges, therapists, and others such as those who pick up the children. And they said, I have been stunned by what I have seen and heard from victims across this land. How do you feel about this family? The grandmother that's suffering behind, the grandmother's visitation was suspended. She hasn't since, she's been, to this day, it says 5 years. She can't see the little girls. I don't know. It's just, how do you feel about that case and the grandmother that has to suffer behind,
Well, I feel like, grandparents do have rights to their grandchildren as well, you know. And I mean that from a positive aspect, like, I mean like a good grandparent.
Right.
Not a person that's just trying to profit off of the child. Because you do have family members like that. They will hurry up and take the kids in so they can profit off of the kids as well. Unfortunately. I don't know, I can't say that she was doing that, but what I can say is grandmothers do have rights. It was wrong for them to take away the children from her, and she was really trying with the kids.
Yeah, they say she did everything. They say she jumped through every loop known to man. They say she completed everything that they asked of her.
So the grandmother completed everything they asked.
Yeah, she did everything.
She didn't, bent over backwards for them.
Yeah.
She didn't,
she fought an alligator. She fought a lion. She walked through fire. She actually, it says she just went on Fear Factor and completed and won every challenge. So,
I mean, speaking, y'all know what we saying. Overall, she's doing everything she was supposed to.
Basically.
And they took the kids away from her still and placed them with, you say, the father?
Yeah, the father, he's into adult entertainment. Okay. And the mother is an escort. So from my standpoint, I wanted to know how you felt about that, being that the father, you know what I mean? Like, and the mother, and they returned him to the mother and the father.
Right. How is that making it better for the kids?
They said the little girl's traumatized. I think they said that the father had a very strange relationship with the daughter, as if they were insinuating like something happened.
So, right, and I'm sure that the little girls was uncomfortable.
Mm-hmm.
But the fact how I feel about it is I feel like if anything happens to them kids, it's blood on the agency's hands.
Yeah,
You know?
definitely.
And it should always be left off on them when they do things like this. And I feel like, when things happen to kids that has to be forced into the homes of the perpetrators and things happen, I just feel like the people that place the kids there, they should be under arrest and they should have to face prison time. Just as well as a black man or a black woman being pulled over by the police and arrested and charged with a petty ass crime as far as being parked on private property. Just
Mm-hmm.
just as small as being parked on private property, just as small as getting caught with uh open liquor, you know what I'm saying? Like petty little stuff like that. If black people can be locked away for petty crimes and stuff like that, well, the people that works within the system, as far
Mm-hmm.
as foster care agencies and the court system as well, that does these corrupt things, that's like, this is like some class X felony type stuff.
Mm-hmm.
This has got to be like something to the highest extent of the law. Real talk. Because you kidnapping children and you placing them in the hands of the perpetrators, and when things happen, as far as like, yeah, a child being touched or a child ending up deceased, or and I mean that in a way like bad things happen inside of the homes that the kids is being placed. A child is being, abused and hurt, and these people know about it and they're not doing anything about it. I definitely feel like they should face charges.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, most definitely. And I feel like, they should never ever be able to, be uh never be able to call themselves a judge, a caseworker. And I'm not gonna say that nothing should happen to the perpetrators. They should most definitely be incarcerated, for
Mm-hmm.
harming the children. But the people that placed them there, I feel like they should too. And they should get, they should be charged with murder.
Mm-hmm.
If anything happens to a child under behind the hands of a foster care agency or a CPS itself, and y'all place a kid in the homes of wicked people that's in their intentions is to harm the child, and the child ends up deceased, your ass should be facing murder charges. All of y'all asses should be incarcerated, locked away. And just overall corruption, they need to just face time in prison.
Mm-hmm. So I don't know if you mind kind of what's this right here? Oh, is that right here? Okay. Last question. It was a situation that happened. This is on, if you guys want to check out the full article, it's on cbsnews.com, Chicago /news/17-month-old Samaje Crosby death.
Yeah.
So as I'm just looking over this was actually April 22nd, 2022. At about 11:38 a.m. They say 17-month-old Shamaje Crosby, he was found stuffed under a couch in Joliet Township.
And I heard about that.
Yeah. No one was charged with the murder. The lawsuit blamed Children's Home and Aid, a contractor of Department and Family Services, for failing to protect Shamaje and remove her from her mother's home, which was in bad conditions, I would say.
That happened in, I believe, 2017.
2017. Yep.
Yeah.
They don't know what killed her though. Still to this day, it has been labeled suspicious.
Okay.
So how do you feel about I would say, you know, the contractor not protecting, well, I wouldn't say protecting, I would say my question to you is do you expect contractors to like protect children from dying?
Are you saying the foster care agency?
Yeah, the foster care. Do you expect for like foster care agencies to protect children from dying?
Yes, of course. You know, they claim that they run background checks and you know that the children are safe and they're
Right.
in safe hands and stuff like that.
Mhm.
But just because you ran a background check on a person don't mean
Doesn't mean.
you know they're a safe person to be around. You know what I'm saying? Like people
By any
commit crimes
chance-
all the times and they don't get caught.
By any chance, do you feel like it label someone that's not I would say, bad for their children, bad for their children? If you get what I'm
Yeah, they
saying.
can. You know, they can put a label on you. They can put it in black and white. They can just make things up about you and create things about you. You know.
Okay. I'm gonna look for one more. Oh, what's up, Guap? I'm sorry, I'm interviewing Danny TV. So as of now, I think that's it for our questions. We're probably gonna try to rack up a few more. And then we'll get back to it. But how do you feel about like false allegations? How do you feel about false allegations? How people can, you know, a person can say something about you and it can define or it would be who you are, what they say about you.
What they created about me. Like,
Right. Let's say, for example, right.
I mean, I
You
know
and-
what you're saying. You saying,
Yeah.
how do I feel about false allegations?
How you, yeah, basically.
Well, I feel like, you know,
Nigga, that's me.
stop, you know, labeling a person something just because the way that you feel about them personally and you didn't really get to know them.
Right.
So, you know.
So do you think people do you think these people use their feelings and emotions?
I do feel like people use their feelings and emotions.
Okay.
You know, because you got to use your feelings and emotions about a person personally in order to create a false narrative about them. And once you create a false narrative about them, you begin to dislike them so much that you're ready to make false allegations against them. Because
Right.
you don't feel like you're getting any attention from them. And you
Right.
need their attention. You crave their attention and you hate that you can't get it. So now, the only way for you to do that is to create false allegations against them. You know?
Right. Okay. So
I feel like, because I ain't really saying like how I feel about false allegations, but I just feel like it's wrong, you know? Don't make up a false allegation against a person because you feel some type of way about it, you know? Because when you do bad to a person, it can come back on you, you know? It will come back on you full force. They ain't even gonna see it coming.
okay. And like okay. So now how do you feel about like fat people? Like people who have extra access under their chin and
Well, like
yeah,
honestly,
that love food.
all jokes aside though, in regards to like, and I'm gonna just say this because it's obese people out there that's really nice. So this is not directed towards the nice obese people. This is actually directed towards
the evil,
evil obese people that try to harm people mentally, or they try to divide them up with the people that they love and stuff like that. This is directed towards people like that, just people that's just straight up wicked, that straight up do wicked things, and they do it intentionally. I just feel like you're fat as fuck.
Facts.
Because
fat.
You got a lot of sin.
Is it a capital F, or is all the letters capital when you say
P-H-A-T.
fat? Oh,
like,
the PH.
That's too nice. F-A-T.
Right. Yeah, that's too nice. So the PH.
Your
PH fat.
Like that. And on some real stuff though, like spiritually, because R.I.P. Pastor Stephen Darby, when he talked about this, he said, "You wonder why a lot of people got a lot of fat built up in their necks and all that stuff. Like that ain't nothing but sin.
That's it.
Sin.
Neck full of sin.
A neck full of sin.
Fat full of sin. That ain't even no food. That ain't no food.
Right. If you think about it, a lot of fat people that's evil. They're miserable. They're insecure. And a lot of them, they gain weight because when they're depressed, they eat out of depression. That's,
right.
And it's just like, if you think about it, a lot of things can contribute to them gaining weight, So yeah, that's how I feel about fat people, F-A-T. And like I said, shit, I'm talking about the evil ass fat people. So if you're evil as hell and you're fat, you know why.
You know why?
You know why you're getting fatter.
Fatty. Yep.
You're just being right.
Okay.
Else?
Well, that wraps up our interview. It was great getting to know you, Danny TV.
Okay, although I don't feel like you really got to know.
I really didn't have a lot of questions stocked up for you.
Guys.
Oh, I'm sorry. I got another question. I'm sorry. My actually, I have a supporter in here. He had a good question. You know what? That's a great question, Guap. I'm gonna go ahead and ask her that. So, how do you feel about trannies going into women's bathroom with full beards and dresses on?
How do I feel about transformers going into women's bathroom?
Going into women's bathrooms
with full beards.
With full beards on, strong, with biceps and arms and all that muscles, and going in the bathroom.
R.I.P. Pastor Stephen Darby. But he talked about this in one of his sermons years ago, and he said that it's gonna come a point in time where they're going to normalize pedos. They're gonna normalize that. They're gonna start giving the Transformers a lot of more, they're gonna be passing laws for them. And I just feel like, we are definitely in the end, very end. And I feel like it's definitely disgusting. You should not be identified as a woman because you're not. What you are is you're a creep and you're a fucking pedo. So it doesn't matter if you dress up in a dress and you put on a wig. You got a full beard, you're still a man. You're not a woman. Okay, you don't have a reproductive system. You will never be a woman. You were born a boy. And when you grew up, you turned into a man. And it's unfortunate that you want to change your identity to a woman. And you're going in women's bathrooms around little girls and around women that have to take care of themselves when it's that time of the month.
Talk about it.
And, I just feel like you are a fucking creep and a pedo. And nothing's gonna make me think otherwise. And you're sick. You're sick and you need help. And that's how I feel. Okay. And I feel like that should definitely be off limits. And I've had to witness something like that before too. And a transformer came in there on the women's side in the where the locker room was at and the sauna and then you got the bathrooms or whatever. It was a transformer in there. And I was pissed. I was livid. And I took my shit and I left. And I was like, bro, I'm never coming back to another gym again. This is fucking disgusting. Y'all got a whole man dressed up as a woman in the men's bathroom. I mean, in the women's bathroom. And also coming in the sauna and all types of stuff with us. Like that's weird as fuck. That's weird. And if you don't feel like you a weirdo, a creep, and a pedo, and if you don't feel like nothing is wrong with you, you need to seek immediate fucking help. Real talk. It's some sick fucks. Real talk. Like they really are normally really feeling like they normal because they identify as a woman.
It is.
And it's really a fucking man, bro. I just can't get with it. And the same thing is vice versa. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
Why are you like why did they allow people to identify themselves as whatever the hell they want? You know what I'm saying? Like why? Because people just they going overboard with it. They going overboard with it. And it's like you going so far to the point of like as a woman you want to be a man and you want to go get hormone pills and all types of stuff to change your voice and you getting you getting the part down there done and like you getting the pills in you and the shots in you, the testosterone and bruh. It's sick.
Yeah. Guap had kind of like the same question I had, but he was asking in regards to like high school. You know, he said it was a freshman year. It was freshman year. It was a rainbow dude who used to change in the girls' locker room. So he was like, "How you feel about that?" Which would be kind of in the same relation to more so what you just said about, you know, walking into LA Fitness and it's women in there with their chests and everything is out shining.
Mm-hmm.
You know.
Well, that's how I feel about it.
Mm-hmm.
But we need to move on to you because it's time to ask you some more questions and interview you. So, guys, if you're listening right now, I was just interviewed, and now King Lou TV. Y'all go on his channel if y'all want to as well. I'm about to interview him. So first things first, we're gonna start with the intro. You know, introduce yourself. What's your name or what's the name that you go by? How old are you? And where are you from?
All right, man. My name Lou, aka King Lou, man. You know what I'm saying? Straight from the streets. That's it.
Sorry.
My bad, y'all. Here we go.
Intro. So what's your name or what name do you go by? How old are you and where are you from?
So I'm from Chicago. I go by King Lou. You know what I'm saying? And yeah. What's all the questions again? I'm trying to make sure I answer them all.
Say you from Chicago, you go back King Lou. How old are you?
And I'm 33 years old. You know what I'm saying? I made it to be 33. Gonna be 34 this year. So Yeah.
All right. So next, where did you grow up?
I grew up in Hunnits. Out here in Chicago, the Hunnits is like, you know how everybody say 63rd, it's 63rd, 53rd, 43rd, it's 103rd, 93rd.
Is
But
that on the south side of Chicago?
South side of Chicago, they call it the Wild Hunnits.
Oh, okay.
Call it the Wild Hunnits, Grew up out
So,
there.
what year did you graduate high school?
I graduated 2010, 2010.
Okay.
Time to win.
So, how do you feel about Chicago?
Chicago, man, it'll change you. As a black man, it will change you in ways where you will be more alert, you will be more vocal, you would think outside the box.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, like Chicago is just it's almost like living in a boot camp.
Mm,
You know what I'm saying? And that's as a black man though.
right.
Straight like that.
So when it comes down to Chicago, right?
Yeah.
How do you feel about other people wanting to come to Chicago or wanting to know so much about Chicago? Like, yeah, people that's from other, parts of the state, of the United States, and everybody just so hyped about Chicago. How do you feel about that?
I mean, I ain't gonna act like I ain't made it out here. I'm 33 years old. But you just mind your business. You know what I mean?
Right.
If you do want to come out here, I do get that our food is different, sightseeing downtown area and all that. But it wouldn't be like I guess being from here, I just feel like this wouldn't be a place that you should want to like. I want to go to Chicago. Like,
Right.
I
Do you
mean, if
feel
you
like
think about it, you can make half of. You can look up the recipe online and make it at home. So it's like I don't know. Yeah.
no, that's true. Do you feel like, people just want to come here to, they just love hearing about the shootings? And do you feel like people want to come here more to see that up close and personal? Or do you feel
Yeah.
like they just want to be here because they like the skyline?
I feel like people who hear about Chicago and haven't really lived here, or probably know somebody that live here, but they probably ain't live here that long. Anyway, like Chicago is not what everybody make it out to seem. It's more of a. I feel like it's more systematic than like physically dangerous. You know what I'm saying? Like
Mm-hmm.
it's dangerous everywhere. You can die everywhere. You know what I'm
Mm-hmm.
saying? But yeah, unfortunately, it is areas out here that I feel like people want to visit to see if they can die. Like I want to go out here because I heard they killing people. You know what I'm saying? Like so,
Right.
yeah, I do feel like people literally want to come out here to die because they just like,
Right.
I ain't gonna die. Look, I'm out here in Chicago, man.
Right.
They ain't doing nothing. Like, and
Exactly.
it's like that's stupid because not only could you die anywhere, but like why you want to come out here to die? That's
Right.
crazy.
That's why I said, see, the problem that, and honestly, like the problem that's wrong with people now is they just love negative shit.
Yeah.
They love negativity. They crave it. Whether it's a person being talked about or a person getting beat up or killed. And this is why social media has played a huge part in how people are starting to live their life in reality. You know, People do so much over social media. They're using filters on their face. They recording a person being shot and motherfucking transported to an ambulance, and just everybody talking about like people just love negative shit. Naturally, I'm starting to feel like it's a natural thing for people to like negativity now.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, which is actually not normal, but it's the new norm. Um, so how do you feel about kids in the system that are trapped in the foster care system?
I feel like it's in it, if we talking about because as I'm learning, there's parents out here that's escorts and a
Mm-hmm.
drug addicts and just got released from prison and it's parents out here that's what I'm saying, like very weird towards their kids and I hate to I'm gonna keep it real, like they don't be needing their kids because they don't really be ready.
Right.
But I feel for those parents out here that is ready. I
Mm-hmm.
feel for those parents that has done everything they had to do, that's still having to go through whatever loops they're going through. Um, but I feel like overall, just it's wrong for a kid interest to not be to go with their parents. You know,
Okay, let me ask you something. Do you feel like in situations where children is trapped in the system, in the foster care system, and they can't get away and they want to get home to their parents and they just want to be with their parents, do
right?
you feel like the system is targeting the children or are they targeting the parents?
Well, in this case, I would say it's an even playing field because being that the child will be more dysregulated, being separated from their parents, it can be used as a weapon towards them.
Mhm.
Also, I feel as far as like,
It could be used as a weapon to the parents.
more towards the child.
Mm.
It'll be
Right,
used as
right.
their emotions will get used against them from being sad about being dysregulated from not being able to be around their children.
Right.
So it's like, hey, you gotta be good, or hey, yeah, you acting like this. It's like just disregarding the separation.
But I just want to say this.
Mm-hmm.
Well,
Can I get your take on that too?
yeah. Actually, I do. I feel like the system is so sick that they do target children. You know. See, the thing is, they don't want to see black people elevate, right? As it is, right?
Mm-hmm.
And I'm speaking to other black people that don't want to see black people elevate, black people that work in the system. So we got all angles of people, all walks of life that's against us. Period. We against each other. Um, I just feel like the more that they keep the black child in prison in the system, away from they parents, the more of a fucked up generation that they can create.
Mm-hmm.
Because it's going to be, think about it. It's bad enough that when we was younger back in the 90s and stuff like that, we didn't have our fathers in the home, right? And then you got the children that was born in the early 2000s that didn't have their fathers in the home. But then you got the children that was born in the 2010s, that don't have their fathers in the home and they're being snatched away out of the home and being placed in foster care foster care homes. And you got like hundreds and thousands of teenagers right now and kids across the board right fucking now. It's statistically speaking, African American children that is not home with their actual parents right now.
Mm-hmm.
They minds are fucked up. It's
Yeah.
creating more of a fucked up generation. See, it's bad enough that we already got the kids, that wasn't raised by their parents because they was raised in the system. It's a lot of kids like that right now. And then you got the kids that is being raised by their parents, but their parents don't give a fuck about them. All they want to do is party and play sexy red and Glorilla all day and go worry about getting their weave and lashes done. Then you got the damn fathers that's just literally absent in their life, and if they is present in their life, they sit up there gang banging in front of them, smoking in front of them, yelling at them, don't really want to be around. So it's fucked up on both ends. I just feel like that's they plan is to make more black people fucked up.
Mm-hmm.
That's what they want to see us down. Because they know that we, as a people, like honestly, positively speaking, we are very intelligent. Black people are smart.
Right.
A lot of black people actually invented a lot of things, and it was
A
stolen
lot.
away
We
from us.
invented everything.
Yeah.
We invented everything. And I didn't even know that, to be honest with you. I didn't know we did everything.
Mm-hmm. So the next question is, so do you have any kids?
Yeah, I do have kids.
Are they in the system? Have you ever had to deal with your children being a part of the system or anything like that?
Not sure if I can answer that one, but
Well, do you know how it feels to have to deal with the system? Is this why you just
yeah, definitely.
okay?
Yeah, I've been, playing the game for a while now. Only thing is, every time I turn the game on, I realize that the game is against me. So
Oh wow.
hard to play a game that,
Okay, right. I definitely understand. What's up, everybody? Who just came to laugh. Y'all came in a little late. Guapo, you got Guap, number one lunch, Fred. We got to actually wrap it up right now. Definitely, yeah, wrap it up.
Mhm.
But yeah, man, we just coming through to so y'all can hear our take on a few things. But nevertheless, we will be back in here later on, y'all. And we're gonna make it, spice it up a little bit.
Mm-hmm. And y'all know our slogan. Y'all know our slogan, though.
We gotta get up out of here.
Yeah, y'all wake the fuck
Wake the
up.
fuck up.